to do after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them to join us for another interesting evening because Maiyegun today. And if you have done that already, thank you. So tonight, or should we say in the last few days, we have been helping to shine the light more on the Christian, Muslim genocide perpetrated by the Islamic jihadists operating in Nigeria. While Tinubu and his gang have been so busy locally and internationally to try to convince everybody that no, they were wrong, right? While they gloss over the killings, by the way, by telling themselves that they've done well. In the midst of all of this, even the the opposition themselves have been in almost like non-existence, right? Simply because the conversation was so kind of like, tricky for them that some of them avoided the Donald Trump's threat. And it also seemed that behind the scene, they were also dying too. Until, recently, when El Rufaya, the Kaduna Little Finger, started a tour of some of their northwest, I've been at northeast, wherever in northern Nigeria, for their coalition, ADC. Peter Obi that led his own party, Labour Party, to an election in Anambra, got their own nose also pretty much bruised, right? So before now, let me give you a throwback a bit, because this is now politics now, okay? We'll get to the part of the internationals. International part of it later, right? So in April, thereabout, April, May, this year, when their ADC came, they came with so much like bang, noise, and the idea behind it was kind of like, I don't know, appealing to some people. But it didn't take long before the issue of ambition, individual's ambition, could actually be a problem. But there are many other problems. So we've not really seen anything strategic about them when it comes to how much yappings they have been yapping, right? When it comes to them providing alternative for you. Because Tinubu has failed, APC, Egbekegbe has dealt with you beyond what you bargained for. But what is the alternative? The coalition or the PDP. We'll get to that part too. So Rotimi Amaechi, for the second time in the last, I think, 6 months, where he's specifically pointing out that Tinubu is not invincible. Tinubu is defeatable. Tinubu is beatable, and all that kind of like adjective as well. So his recent one is at a forum in Abuja, I believe, where he dissects the chance or the opportunity before the opposition in Nigeria. That if Nigerians are tired of APC for real and they are looking for an alternative, this coalition of ADC, which includes Rotimi Amaechi, Obi, Atiku, and I think one other person, but Angio, Atiku. So if the trio or more could come together, that's what people are saying. If they could come together and begin to pull all of their supporters together, build a sort of like formidable whatever. Amaechi is reiterating that now. And according to him, if the opposition, if they are ready to get rid of Tinubu and APC, he's got the magic wand if they will listen to him. So that's where we're going to start this evening. Then we're going to go on to where Tinubu had a gathering of Nigerian editors guide or something, a guild, right? Those editors, newspaper editors. So they had their meeting inside the Ask Old Rock today. So Kalu used that to give a subtle response to Donald Trump or Trump's threats. So I'm going to get to that one too, and others and others and others after that. So please consider all I have said as intro, okay? Please like the broadcast if you haven't already, and share it as well. because this is what's about to start. So Rotimi Amaechi and his own theory of how to get rid of Kolu, the opposition, by the way.
Excited for this ceremony. See, they are all here.
They are here.
Where are they? I can't see the two former vice presidents, the former president and the former vice president. I can't see him. I can't see them. I can't see my former colleague P2B.
It's represented.
So how do we fight for the reform we're asking for? Will it be easy if everybody is not participating? I have spoken before. I spoke yesterday on this issue. I don't know what new thing I will add. The only thing I will add to this will be that you are the citizens. Citizens' participation will stop those who don't want reform. Will government give you reform? No. Government won't give you reform. Don't wait for NLC. There's no NLC. I hear their members are somewhere here. There is no ASU. There is no NAS. I was a student leader in the 1980s. In the 1980s, there is no student action without NLC. There is no student action without ASU. We usually meet either in Benin, Kano, Kaduna, River State. We go around. Now, if you call NLC for any action, that's when they will know that from north or from south or from east or from west. It's not going to be easy. And please stop electing people and going to complain after. If you want to elect people you can hold accountable for. The problem with Nigeria is lack of accountability. Somebody can come here and shoot you and nothing will happen. Absolutely nothing will happen. The person who won't even be hiding, they will know the person and nothing will happen. It's not the country, it's not that we lack law. What we lack is the rule of law. There are laws, National Assembly, state assemblies, everybody's passed laws here and there, but nothing is happening. So I will repeat exactly what I said yesterday. If you are waiting for government to make any reform, you are wasting your... Before election, there must be resistance to those who don't want proper election. If you do it after election, you're also wasting your time. We must agree as a people that we must resist just very few Nigerians who are just enriching themselves. They are politicians, they are contractors. You can't be a politician and a contractor. You have to choose one. You can't be the two. So I said Nigerians are hungry. If they are not hungry, I'm hungry. Some people are abusing me. Look at this man, you have been in office for how many years? He says Speaker, Minister, Governor. Okay, they're stepping to go and steal. No problem, that's not an issue. But whether I'm hungry or not, are Nigerians not hungry? So why are those few people who are supporting the government saying they are not hungry? They are not hungry because they are joining in the stealing. The stealing is beyond what we fought for. So if you continue the way we are going, in the next 3-4 years, we'll gather here again. I gave an example in the last yesterday's session. I said when we were in government, Buhari swore that he will, one legacy he will leave behind is electoral reform, that he will ensure that his government will make sure that votes counted. When the National Assembly brought the bill, some politicians went to him, pushed him beyond his beyond measure, not to sign that law. And he's not signed the law. So there were no electoral reforms. Today, those politicians are on the other side. They are not asking for electoral reform. So the same thing. If tomorrow President Tinubu and his people are defeated in election in 2027 by the action of the citizens come out and hold them responsible the way they were held in Lagos. After, when the new government is sworn in, they will go across and they'll be shouting for what? Electoral reform. So most Nigerians who speak about this electoral reform is dependent on where their stomach is facing. If their stomach is facing the wrong place, they will want electoral reform. If they are chopping, they will tell you that they were taught in primary school that it is wrong to eat and chop and do what? And talk. So I wish you well. I've told you, this gathering will not be enough. Talking whatever they want to say here is, for me, will not achieve the objective. What will achieve the objective is when we all citizens gather and say, enough is what? If you don't say it, this is not the person I've been saying it to. And nobody here will say, this man only talks when he's out of government. I was governor when I say, if you don't stone us, if you don't stone politicians, they will continue to steal because the system does not stop them. The only politicians they arrest are politicians who are against the government in power. If you are with government and you're stealing, you will be chopping, nothing will happen. But if you're not in government, you're not supporting government, they will catch you for chopping previously. And that you must vomit it. Unless you say, I support you, it's okay, you can keep what you have stolen. So, citizens' action is necessary. Don't wait for those who say they are wanting. I've said about NLC, I've talked about ASU, I've talked about NAS. They are no longer in existence. They now carry talks. Didn't you watch NAS election? They had talks. They had vehicles. The government now appoints leaders of those institutions who will be NLC president, who will be MDA president, who will be ASU president. It's not government that does it. Even me, as chairman of governors forum, when the president tried to intervene, we resisted it. We didn't allow him. But I now hear that the chairman of governors forum was appointed by the president. So what will the governor say? I wish you, Lord, I thank you for gathering, but the outcome of this discussion will not cause electoral reform. What will cause electoral reform is not only that you should vote, is that you go against those who will stop you from your result being announced. It happened in Lagos. So when you say the president is invisible, he is not invisible. I've worked with him, I know him. When you say the results are already written, they are helping to fuel that conversation so that it won't come out. You get the point? If you come out en masse, nobody will write any results. Nobody will take away the result sheet. Because anybody who takes away the result sheet is probably going to cause confusion for himself. God bless us.
He has no job.
He is guilty of the same thing. He said, we, the citizens, have to come out. The point here is this guy lives in their own bubble. But before I tackle him, let me advise first, so that it won't be like we are throwing everything away. Amaechi was at that gathering where they were discussing the electoral reform and all of that. And it is more or less like asking Tinubu to commit political suicide. Because if you ask them to do the right thing, you're asking them to commit political suicide. In the history of their own power play in Nigeria, the incumbent president is considered as, irremovable, except if those who are the voice behind or the power behind his presidency decided to pull, to pull the lever somehow. That is when the incumbent president or whatever you could become history, not because of the mass gathering of the people. Well, here, Amaechi has been in government since 1999 and he's just been out of government less than 3 years now. And he's on the other side as an opposition, who now feels like, the country could be managed better, right? And that itself is actually like an indictment to, well, hey, you've got Amaechi, you've got Peter Obi, who's got over 6 million kind of like votes, and is believed to have more than 10 million supporters in average. On the average. Atifku, who also got nearly 7 million votes, is also believed to have more than that, like generally. Then you have who else is in there with them? I'm trying to pick some, you know. Then you have El Rufai. I don't think that one has any real, real people, by the way. But hey, then you have, you've got Atiku, you've got Obi, you've got Amaechi, you have El Rufai and others. Now, if all of these people genuinely, right, have repented and they are not just like the other side of the coin, which they are, if they want to prove that they are not, they would by now have actually called for all these things themselves, right? Announce a day that they will mobilize Nigerians to the streets. Because there's something I used to be, I kind of like used to be worried or not worried, kind of like always curious. Maybe that's the word, curious of what goes on in the mind of these criminals whenever they are addressing Nigerians in the sense of their own, the Nigerians say hardship or what people are going through, right? And they have contributed to that themselves, okay? And now they are offering you a solution, and that solution doesn't involve them. It's actually is you that they expected to do all of that, possibly rise up and all that, and then they can walk in and say we are the leaders and all, I don't know. So it's been a curious thing for me, right? They would never mobilize the citizens against the system, or maybe they won't do it again. Do you get what I mean? The reason why they won't is because their losses is so minimal, if there is any at all, in this whole economic hardship or these policies of assault and ongoing corruption and the rest, right? So when these criminal politicians, right, when they put everything inside, like if the country is going to burn, let it burn, like what they did in 2015, it was that boiling point where they felt like they've lost everything. And if Jonathan should get a second term, what will happen then will be like they will be completely finished. There are factors behind that too, by the way. For example, their oil block licensing or relicensing or license renewals and all that. It's actually a big thing for these rogues. Most of them, you don't see them. Okay. So Jonathan was about to probably sign after the election. Jonathan would be like signing another 10-year lease for the, oil block for oil block license, so to say, right? And they've heard that part of his plan was to make sure that by the time he finished in 2020, 2019, that was Jonathan, that the oil industry in Nigeria, including the oil blocks, right, will be controlled by more than 80% of people from Niger Delta, rather than people from Borno, Sokoto, Niger, Niger State, all those places who are oil block owners, okay, in the Niger Delta. So it was like, no, we can't let that happen. So they put everything in. Politically, they would have finished. So they didn't mind Nigeria to burn down. So they invited terrorists to the border, and they even said if Jonathan failed to probably leave power, they will give him backbone treatment, which means they will be willing to burn down the country and burn Jonathan with it. Now, from that mindset is what led Nigeria to what you have today, the most terrorized people in the world. It didn't just happen. So APC happened, and then this happened. So they found themselves on the other side. Right now, they want to save us, but they won't lead it. So what is wrong if they use their money, their stolen money, to sponsor a massive mass protest to demand for this, what they are talking about, electoral reform? Do you hear me now? So that was Amaechi. Wrote with me, Amaechi will be my Judas Iscariot. Talking about Jonathan, by the way. He was at the forum as well. I think a day before that, his last one, where he was saying they are accusing him of being one of those who went to Barack Obama to report Jonathan in 2015. So he denied it. But somebody was there to probably like say, well, you may not physically have been there, but you met this and you met that in this clip.
America, I never went to America. That was here in Lagos. Lagos, I was in the meeting. American government, without anybody petitioning to them, who are they God? After the president, no other person. So how can I petition the American government? What would they do? But American government came here after speaking to other countries. What did they come to do? Good luck, don't rig. If you rig, we will not recognize you. Opposition,